Hi, I'm Charla with Freezer Meals 101. Welcome to this week's edition of What's for Dinner, where I show you how I took our freezer meals that were already made and in the freezer and transformed them into our family's weeknight dinners. The first recipe that we made this week was a Mexican chicken Alfredo, and I made that on the day that I did our rotisserie chicken freezer meals. I will put the link right there in case you want to check out all the meals that I made. Now, this one turned out a lot better than the chicken taco spaghetti that I made that same day. Kind of similar idea because it's chicken and pasta and, you know, the Mexican flavors, but this one was much nicer, and it's one that might make it into the regular rotation. We liked it a lot. We didn't love it, so I'm not sure that we'll make it again, but it was definitely a lot better than the chicken taco spaghetti, and we enjoyed it. So I just was able to transfer it right from the bag into the casserole dish and bake it in the oven. The pasta was already cooked, everything was already done. Super, super easy. And of course the chicken was cooked too. This week we also used our second bag and sadly last bag until Christy and I get together to make freezer meals again, but of the egg roll in a bowl. That was a new recipe the last time when we made our 150 freezer meals, but it's definitely going to be one that we make again and again and again. We've tweaked the recipe a bit because we found it salty. So we have tweaked the recipe to use less soy sauce, so the next time we make it, it'll be even better. I will put that recipe down below, and the recipe that I'm putting below includes the tweaks that we've made, so you'll get the good version of that recipe. Anyway, I also made the Sriracha Rice, which is similar in that you just take it from the bag and put it in a skillet and reheat it. The Sriracha Rice was one that I did in the rotisserie chicken freezer meals, and it was a definite hit. This was the second time that we've eaten it, and it's only been a few weeks since I made it, so you can tell that we loved it because we couldn't wait to eat it again. Anyway, and it is nice too because it's kind of got everything for the full meal already there because the rice is already cooked. It was made with leftover rice, which is another bonus of that recipe. And so that's another one that will for sure make it into the regular rotation. Another night we had the ginger soy salmon. That has long been a favorite. The flavors on that are incredible, and it's really hard to go wrong with it. Sometimes we cook it on the barbecue. This time I just cooked it on some foil paper in the oven. The foil paper was just to make cleanup easier. You could put it straight on your cookie sheet if you wanted, but I wanted to make cleanup easier. I served that with my super secret side dish, but today is the day. I'm going to let you guys in on my secret. So I'm going to go with 22 years. 22, 23 years, something like that. I have been using this side dish, and it's super easy because it comes from a package, and it is this wild rice with mushrooms. So good. All of our family loves it. They call it that rice. Are we having that rice? Mom, can we have that rice tonight with the chicken? For my birthday supper, can we have that rice? Everybody knows what we're talking about when we say that rice. So now you guys are in on my secret side dish. If ever we get unexpected company and I have to cook a full nice sit down meal for them, I can just pull out a chicken dish, salmon dish, beef dish, something, a main course from the freezer, and then cook this rice and some vegetables or a salad alongside. And everybody is super impressed and thinks I'm such a good cook, but really it just came from this package. So now you know my secret. Anyway, with this dish, I also made some vegetables, and I wanted to share with you a little meal prep tip that I also have been using for a long time. Maybe not quite as long as I've been making the rice, but a long time. And that is that if ever I'm gonna do roasted vegetables, so sometimes I do, like in the fall or the winter, I like to do roasted root vegetables. In the summer, I like to do, you know, some vegetables that are a little more seasonal for that. And whenever I do roasted vegetables, I like to prep them ahead just earlier that day or the day before and put them in a bowl, put a lid on it, and put it in the fridge. The reason for this is because I don't know if your kids are like mine, or if you're like me, but it's like that hour just before dinner, everybody's kind of grouchy and the house is really loud because people are getting home from school or work or whatever. And it's hard to prep your vegetables then. And so I was finding that if I didn't do it before, then it just didn't get done. And I was serving my meals without the vegetables, or I was rushing around and like getting annoyed with the kids because they were so needy at that time of day. If I prep ahead, then I'm more cheerful and I'm not, you know, frustrated with them for just being hungry, which is really what it comes down to at that time of day. Aren't we all hungry? So, and you know, my moods are affected by hunger. So anyway, I just cut everything before, but I don't add the olive oil and the seasonings until right before. So then I can take my bowl out of the fridge, everything is already cut, cubed, whatever, and I can put a little bit of olive oil, some salt and pepper, and this time I used some fresh rosemary from my herb garden because it's fresh and it was there and it just smelled so good. So, but you can use just salt and pepper or fine. Some people like to use seasoning salt, whatever seasoning you like. Sometimes I'll do like a Cajun. Anyway, just this is a nice little tip for meal prepping your vegetables. Put them in the bowl ahead, cover it, put it in the fridge, and when you need it, put the olive oil and seasonings on it and give it a shake, and then put it down on your parchment paper or just on the cookie sheet or baking dish. Put it in the oven, and then you've got lovely roasted vegetables, and you weren't rushing around at that time of day when everybody's a little grouchy. So, last thing we made this week is a Southwest sausage skillet. And that's a meal that we invented this last time that we were making the big 150. Oh, I'll put the link there, up there. 150 freezer meals. I will also put it there in a few seconds. But this is easy, just goes straight from the bag into your skillet. Everything's already done. It has all the things in it to make a complete meal. And it's nice and flavorful because of that Italian sausage that's in there. So thank you so much for joining me for another edition of What's for Dinner. I will put the recipes linked down below. And again, I will put that link to the 150 freezer meals beside me. And yeah, that's it. Have a great week. Thanks again for joining me. I think I said that already. Happy cooking.